Hey guys, welcome back to the Financial Minute. A little bit of a different background, but it is a beautiful day out today, so I thought I would do this video outside. Today, 5 tips that you need to follow to get a good deal on a house. Number 1, do your due diligence. Know where you want to live. Don't be looking at houses that you don't even want to, live in that area necessarily. Figure out your range of where you want to live and don't look anywhere else. Because yeah, it might be a good deal, the house might be perfect, but if it's not somewhere like geographical where you want to live, you're going to regret that purchase down the road. And the worst thing you can do is have to sell that house in a year or two because you really hate where it is. So make sure you're only looking at houses where you want to live. 1. 2, do some research on, what could go wrong with houses. Know a little bit about what to look for. Cracks in foundations, cracks in walls, musty smells. These are just naming a few. But do your own due diligence. Missing shingles, insect damage. Know a little bit about what you're looking at. So you can eliminate a lot of houses just by seeing things that you know are issues without getting an inspection, because inspections are expensive. And a lot of time, you don't need them. If you can just weed it out yourself and say, hey, it's got cracks here, there, there's a really musty smell, insect damage in the crawl space. Don't be afraid to go do a crawl space, by the way. If you're looking at buying a house with a crawl space, I would suggest that you go into the crawl space. Because here's the thing. If you have to hire somebody every time you need to do service in that crawl space, it's going to add up really quick. So either A, you have a lot of money and you can afford to hire someone all the time to do all your maintenance, or B, you go into that crawl space because you're going to end up in there at one point or another, even if you do have a lot of money. So go in the crawl space, bring a flashlight, look out for spiders, rats, mice, etc. Wear long pants and a shirt that doesn't get ruined. These are things that I would recommend. Number 3, if you know you're going to be buying a house down the road, make sure you're preparing for it financially. Don't be taking out a bunch of different checking accounts. Don't be applying for all kinds of new credit. Don't be moving large sums of money around. Don't be depositing and pulling out large sums of money really quick. These are all things that are red flags to the bank. Make sure you're not doing any of these. This is personal experience. I moved $10,000. Even putting $10,000 into the bank is a red flag. They want to know where that money came from. They want you to write a letter of explanation. Just don't put yourself through that headache. Don't be moving large sums of money around. And don't be taking out large credit, new credit cards, etc. when you know you're going to be buying a house down the road. Also remember, car payments, credit cards, even if you have small amounts of money on your credit card, the minimum payment counts towards your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So if you owe $150 on a Discover card and there's a $39 payment, that goes towards, that $39 comes out of your income or your DTI. So remember, credit cards, if there's any balance on them whatsoever, deduct from your DTI. So minimize your credit card usage if you can, and don't take out any new ones right before you're purchasing a house. Number 4. Number 4. Prepare to put at least 20% down. I know you don't have to put that much down, but if you can avoid PMI, PMI is pretty pricey. So if you can, put at least 20 to 25% down when you purchase a house. If you can't, that's not necessarily the end of the world. Just depends on what you're buying. For me, I buy houses that need maintenance and work. And I put 5, maybe 10% down. But then I get rid of that PMI a year later. Just doing some work, improving the value of the house, and just contact the bank, say, hey, I want to get rid of the PMI, I want to drop the PMI, my value of my home has gone up due to projects that have been done on the home. But yeah, if you can, avoid the PMI altogether. If you can't, do know that you can get rid of it without refinancing. A lot of people think you have to refinance to get rid of the PMI. And in circumstances you do. For instance, if it's an FHA of certain years, you can't get rid of PMI without refinancing. Tip number 5. When buying in a hot market like currently we're in, at least most parts of the country, make sure you're prepared to buy. So you're going to have other people looking to bid on this house, probably making offers. Make sure your offer is, well, how do I put this? Something the seller is going to want to take. So don't have a lot of requirements in your offer. Don't request, 40 days to do inspections. Do your inspections, if you can, before you make the offer. And this is when it also helps to know a thing or two about houses. So you can kind of do your own inspection. Know what you're getting without requiring an inspection clause in the purchase. That really looks positive to the seller when you don't have a clause saying pending inspections. Have a pre-financed offer. Already figure out your financing before you even make this offer. Don't make an offer saying pending financing or without any approval for financing. Of course, you can still say, pending financing, because you don't want to be stuck with the house if your financing falls through. But you also want to have a pre-approval letter stating that you do have the ability to get a loan. So make sure you have the ability to get a loan and you have that letter before you make an offer. That looks good to the seller. Also, I feel like this is a no-brainer, but make sure you look at the house before you make an offer, because a lot of sellers are now getting tons of offers of people that haven't even looked at the house, and then all these fall through, and so the house has to go back on the market. And that looks horrible for the seller's standpoint when a house has to repair on the market, because then people ask, what's wrong with it? Why did it not sell? That's the first question you ask when a house doesn't sell. So if you're a buyer, you can sometimes get a good deal on a house that's back on the market, not because of anything to do with the house a lot of times, just because of seller financing fell through, etc. But when you are a buyer, make sure you're looking at this house and make sure you're serious. And let the seller know that verbally. Say, hey, I'm a serious buyer. I want this house. I have the ability to buy it. We should be good to go pending any very drastic issues that come up. But at least look at the house. Don't make offers without looking at the house, because a lot of sellers aren't even looking at those offers. They just skip them altogether because they don't want to get stuck with somebody who's not going to buy the house. Well, guys, that's the 5 tips I have for purchasing a house in a tight market, or in any market, but especially in a tight market. Forgive the wind. I know you can hear the wind in the background. Hopefully you can hear me too. But thanks so much for watching. Remember to give the video a huge thumbs up if you can, and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with a friend, especially a friend who's looking to buy a house. Good luck buying your house, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Remember, only you can make your financial dreams come true. Don't delay. Get started today. Be safe. God bless. Bye.